Hey, we are going to be talking here real briefly about kind of the process that we're using right now to create like an outline with Jarvis inside of Conversion AI. And it's a pretty simple workflow, but it just depends obviously on what you are wanting to write about, whether it's a blog or whether it's a chapter in a book or it's outlining the entire book. I'm going to assume that, like, for the sake of this, Zachariah, let's just bounce an idea off to get things started.
Sure.
Let's replace the word blog with chapter, right?
Chapter.
Chapter topic ideas, and this could also be like book topic ideas. But let's just start one. Let's just make one up out of anything. So, what would be a give me a topic, any topic.
Let's do healthy habits.
Healthy habits. Healthy Habits book. Give me like what's the little bit about what this book is about.
An easy guide to forming healthy habits for entrepreneur dads.
Tone of voice. What are you thinking?
I always like witty. It's yeah.
Yeah, it gives it some personality.
Right.
Get a couple different outputs here. I want to get an idea on. So this is kind of where I would come up with like the chapter idea, or even like the title of a book. But like if you're talking about like Healthy Habits book here, like how to get more done with less stress, or 5 simple habits that helped me as a new dad. Right. I kind of like the how to get more done with less stress.
So let's roll with that.
Let's roll with this. So how to get more done with less stress. Let's say this is going to be the chapter idea in a book, or I want to make an ebook about this for entrepreneurial dads. So let's come over here, get rid of this. How to get more done with less stress. Let's do witty. And so this is going to give us essentially the outline that we're going to be building off of, right? So I'm going to just say how to get more done with less stress is going to be right here. And so it's going to essentially bullet out for me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I can take, inspiration from either of these and say like, cool, if I'm going to be like writing a chapter on how to get more done with less stress, I want to essentially like take what I want from over here. And these are going to be the different subsections inside of that chapter that, I want to essentially, build something on. I actually really like this last one that just came up. 1, get a to-do list app that syncs up with your phone or computer. Use the Pomodoro technique to break up your tasks into manageable chunks of time. 3 is taking frequent breaks and work to avoid multitasking as much as possible. Creating a no list, it's just cleaning your inbox and returning items to the store. Prioritize what's important before tackling anything else.
That's actually really good 5 bullet points.
Yeah.
And remember, I just want everyone to know this is completely original content. So for us to copy it and copy paste, that is completely okay. We're not plagiarizing anything here. This is all created by Jarvis, or the AI computer Jarvis is completely original.
With that said, still, if you want to just double check at the end of kind of like your process to run it through a copyright checker, that's not going to hurt. I would say there's, if you want to just be careful with it, just go ahead and do the check anyways. But we generally don't see any plagiarism from these. So we got like here, how to get more done with less stress. So now the idea is like, okay, cool. I have these topics that I want to be talking about. But now I need to expand on like how do I intro into these 5 bullet points and then close the chapter out. So you've got chapter, the intro up here, and then you have like kind of the conclusion.
Right. And you're also going to want to add a personal story, how you came across this info, or a personal story that relates to how to get more done with less stress. So intro, and then maybe personal story, Darby, right after that.
Mm-hmm.
Intro, personal story, then the meat of the actual bullet points.
So let's go over here and say, so now that I want to get how to get more done with less stress, let's see, what is a healthy habits book?
Yep. Healthy habits for entrepreneur dads. Or I guess, yeah, that we're doing an intro for the paragraph, correct?
This is a product description.
Okay.
I want to see what it's going to give me here.
Is it giving you witty? It's gray. It's gray out. I'm not sure. There you go.
So this would be like the healthy habits book. And this might be like chapter 1, right? How does this book work? Here, 999, 10, cool.
I love that. That's really good.
It's pretty solid. So like, so let's just say this is like chapter 1, right? Just like a real basic like title.
Dadpreneur.
Healthy habits for dadpreneurs.
Yeah.
All right, so the healthy habits book. For dadpreneurs is a combination of blah, blah, blah. How does this work? Here, Montana, work with. Cool. So this would just kind of be like the general intro into, like what the book is going to be about. You probably want to go into more depth in this with some of the templates and the outlining, resources that we've got available.
Let's do so to expand on that chapter with the bullet points. So let's take one of the bullet points and expand on it.
Let me see this first before we do that. I'm going to take the topic of the chapter, right? And so like this would be intro to chapter 1, how to get more done with less stress, right? And so instead of blog post intro, let's
just think chapter intro.
Yeah, chapter intro.
Will it understand dadpreneurs? Let's play with it.
I don't know. So you put that over here, how to get more done with less stress.
And then let's go witty again.
Yeah. Come on, Jarvis. For most people, day-to-day grind.
A million tasks and responsibilities from work to family, going out on time for fun outings or just alone time, cooking healthy meals during the week. We're always trying to fit it all in. It's never enough and we can't seem to catch up. That's amazing.
So here, I like that. So what we take here, I like this is kind of the intro. That's right here. Now, what I want to see is taking that and coming to the AIDA framework. All right, cool. Cool. So this is the intro into it. So I'm sure you're far too familiar with this, but then it does seem to come up. You're not alone. We know how hard it is to find time for yourself and family amidst the chaos of life. That's why we created Healthy Habits for Dadpreneurs. Replace that with a book that teaches you how to take care of yourself so you can be there for everyone else most often. There's no excuse anymore. Adjust this to like make sense for the book, right? But it could be a course. I don't know. This seems like a
book to a course is a lot of people in our 7-day challenge are doing that. So
yep. You're not alone. We do this. Sign up today. Maybe this would be.
You'll learn. Take a look at the steps in this chapter. Would be sign up for our free trial today.
So like take a look at each step in this chapter to minimize on ways to minimize.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do that. And
then we would take each one of these topics, right? So now we've got the one here. Go back to this, and now we're just talking about Now the intro to each one of these bullets, now we can start to kind of open that up, right? Get a to-do list that syncs up with your phone.
Ever feel like your to-do list is never done? You know the one you have at work that's always on your mind. Just when you think it's finally finished, the task pad pops up. When we grade that tasks, if the task on your to-do list could sync with your phone computer so they never get lost in a sea of papers or emails. That's amazing.
So we would just say like, okay, boom, that's the intro to it. Now it's time to expand on top of it. And we could keep going and working with this one specifically. But for the purposes of like what we're trying to accomplish now, I want to get like the framework out. This is all the starting point that we need. And then we can go in and kind of add in like the expert, the expert self with it, right? This is going to talk about that.
Task. That means taking a break from the time-consuming task now and then. When you work all day long without any breaks or breathing room, there are two outcomes. You get burnt out or you become overwhelmed with the task at hand. The Pomodoro technique can help you on track and maintain focus while still giving your mind some rest. It will make sure that when the timer goes off, you've accomplished something, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I mean, this is making it so simple for people to really have a clear idea of where they're going with where they're going in their book.
And two, like one of the things that we've been testing here is like, depending on how you ask it a question in the blog post intro or some of the other like content improver and stuff, it almost not perfectly like Google, but it'll come back to you with things that it's very well aware of what the Pomodoro technique is. And so people are asking questions like, what is the Pomodoro technique? It's going to respond back to you with an answer to that question. Take breaks, avoid multitasking. So it's going into this. No secret that there.
Are you smart? There's no shame in taking frequent breaks from work, avoiding multitasking as much as possible. And I'm not just talking about on the computer. It's important to take a break during your day too. That's great.
So I kind of like both of these.
Yeah, let's add in both.
This is by no means perfect, but each one of these like individual like chapters that we're building off of could be like continued to get expanded upon depending on what. Cool.
What did that say real quick, Jarvis? Let's read it. There are only so many hours in the day. There's no way to make time for everything, but you can prioritize what matters most. Create a no list of things you don't have time for, such as cleaning out your garage or taking care of household chores. There you go.
All right, let's do this last one, and then we'll just kind of tie it up at the end. It's tough to juggle everything in your life. There's so many things on our plate every given day. Hard to prioritize. This blog post shares tips.
And the blog post title: prioritize what's most important on the list and do it first before, what does it say? Before tackling the actual title we used. So this is definitely in line. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's not spitting out random ideas.
So like the theme is there, but there's obvious editing that needs to go back into this. And so like, if this is just like first steps forward, like less than 15 minutes, and we kind of are outlining this process, you're definitely well on your way to writing a more extensive blog post, or if this is the topic of like an ebook or a short.
That's a pretty quick chapter. Let's say you're adding in your own personal stories to that and wrapping with a conclusion. You guys, let's do the word count.
Let's do this real quick, actually, while we still have a couple more minutes.
Sure.
Because I know you got to bounce here, Zachariah. Let's go to the personal story tool. So let's just say like, Joe is an entrepreneur dad who is from So maybe this trying to see sends at work. Family.
Let's try Witty.
Yeah, let's see, because this is a pretty neat tool as well. I've seen some people using this for like LinkedIn posts and all. Many were stressed. He spent time at work. Once we're balanced families, have been successful in over 20 years. Also found our bad project. You know, if it's first person, like if it's coming, obviously, like this is a made up character. It's just going to say it from a different perspective. Hi, my name is Joe, and I'm an entrepreneurial dad. My family means the world to me, but the time I spend working can be difficult and everyone else. I know that the stress affects not only myself, but those around me. I want to find more of the balanced wife. So I wrote this book to help other dadpreneurs, you know, develop healthy habits, right?
There's your.
You just do an intro up here.
Right.
I mean, this could just be chapter 1. Hi, my name is Joe. Healthy habit.
Cool. Amazing.
Yeah. And so then like the conclusion might here be like, here's some action steps, right? Like,
and even that might be the like one chapter, guys, but these could all be chapters by themselves. Let's say you use that blog outline post a little bit more, build out maybe 10 or 15 more chapters. You use our Craig Handley outline technique, and boom, that's a book. I mean, we literally just almost wrote a good chunk of the outline for a book in what has it been, 15 minutes under?
Something like that. Yeah. But just to give you an idea of like the workflow here is just basically, you know, topic ideas, you know, if you wanted like chapter or, you know, different chapter ideas or themes to build around, then building that into the blog post outline, using then the product description and blog post intro paragraphs. We didn't even touch content improver, but we absolutely could if we wanted to go back through it. And then using like the AIDA framework to kind of give it a little bit more character, tie into the emotional, you know, psyche of the reader. And, you know, if you want to add in a personal story, you know, this could be your own personal experience. And then Jarvis is just, you know, using it and formatting it into like, you know, this is you. Then maybe you even plug that into creative story once you have a little bit there and like, hey, this is an example of something that happened. Let Jarvis add some sizzle to it. And then you come back in, refine it, and make it yours.
There you go. All right, guys. I gotta bounce here, but
all right. Thanks, Zach.
No problem.